This is the Arrowhead Brass SL14-AS stem kit. This is the Select the Link stem kit. It comes as pictured here. It comes with a 14-inch long stem, checklist assembly, the cutter, deburr, packing gland assembly, 2 set screws, and an Allen wrench. Now this kit will also come with instructions and a template. The instructions are in English, French, and Spanish, so it should be good there. This over here is the template. So let's get started. So the first thing you're going to do is cut off the water to the hydrant or to the house, whichever one is more convenient for you. And then you're going to take the stem out. So this is the faucet. We're going to take the stem out by loosening the nut here. Alright. And once we get this pulled out, you're going to take off the handle just to get a good measurement. And make sure we get one from tip to tip. We don't cut it too short or too long. And while we're up on this way, we're going to take this packing gland assembly off. And then we're also going to remove the springless check assembly. Now, your stem may be spring loaded. That's okay. Just make sure that you pull it out with the spring and that you're just holding this exact piece right here. Alright, so now you're going to put the old stem on the red one. So you're going to make sure that it's lined up all the way to the line here. And then you're going to take the one from the kit. You're also going to remove the assembly on the end. Now the new ones are a little bit hard to get off. You may have to pull and wiggle really hard. There we go. Alright, we're going to line this up exactly on the mark down there. So, looks like this one moved. Again, you want to make sure they're both in the same position. That is really important. There we go. Alright, now in the instructions it's going to tell you to use a marker. Us personally, we prefer a pencil, just because if you mess it up or something like that, you can just scrub it off with a towel or your finger or something like that. Now the best way to do this is you want to cut it on the mark. Now on the older ones before 1999, it's probably not going to line up on the mark. So basically what you want to do is you want to cut it right about right here where the rubber meets the chrome piece. So we are going to make our mark there. You want to make it pretty visible there. So now at this point, using the template, we would go ahead and cut it. But there is another way to do this that we've had people come in and say that it's just a lot easier, and I'm going to show you how to do that first. It's also a good way to double check yourself when you're using the template. So what you're going to do is you're going to take this stem and you're going to take this one. You're going to line it up like this, and you're going to bump the bottom of it up to the chrome piece right here, to where the copper meets the chrome. So see how our mark lines up right there? It looks like I got it a little bit crooked. So this is a good way, because if I would have started cutting that right on the mark, I would have cut it crooked. That would have been bad. So this is why I like using the pencil. I just use my thumb. It's like that. I can remake the mark. Now it would be better if you had it laid down on a flat surface, so that way you can get the most accurate mark you can. And another reason you want to use a pencil is the finer point, so you can get the most accurate line you can get. So we're going to line it up. I'm going to try to do this so you guys can see. Right there. You're going to mark it right there. So that was pretty close to where I was, but I was off a little bit. If you're within a 16th, it's usually okay, but you really want to try to get it as close as you can to the exact measurement, just to be sure you got full flow and all that. Alright, so now since we got our mark and everything, we're going to cut this stem, and we're going to show you how to do that. So you see our mark right here. Now there's a couple important things you need to know about cutting copper in general. This is the tubing cutter that comes with the kit. See, that has 2 rollers right here, and then here's the blade, which is right in the center. You want to make sure that this stem pipe is laying right in the center of the groove of the 2 wheels. And so as you do this, once you get it tight, you're going to tighten it, turn it 2 or 3 times, tighten it again until it cuts all the way through. So let's get started. So there's our mark right there. We'll make sure we're going to get it tight, make sure we're in the grooves there. And alright, so the wheel bumped. I'm just going to go around. You want to make sure, see, we're a little off there, so we're going to loosen up. Alright. Alright, now we're on our mark. Alright, so we're going to tighten it up until it's tight, and let's start cutting. 2, 3. Alright, tighten it up. So this does take a good minute or two to do this. It's not going to be fast, so just try to be patient with it. You don't want to mess it up. So as soon as it starts getting loose, we're just going to tighten it just a little bit. And also another thing you want to make sure is that when you cut, if you look right here, you can see the groove that we cut. You just want to make sure that that cutter stays in that groove and that it's not wobbling all the way around, so you get a good clean cut. We're almost through it. Starting to get looser as we go. And it's starting to break. Alright, nice clean cut. Now since we got it cut, we're going to use the deburr tool that comes in the kit. Use the pointed end like that. Just stick it in there about 2 or 3 times around, and then you should be good. And then the other side, just to make sure the outside's good. And the reason we do that is when we put that packing gland on and slide it, we don't want it to cut the O-ring inside of there where it will have a leak. Alright, now let's put our packing gland on. Alright, we got the stem cut. Now we're going to put the packing gland on. This is the packing gland. Now we already did start the set screws, and as you can see in here, they're not sticking out of there, which this is what holds the bonnet nut on. I highly recommend just getting one thread started, just because they are hard to get in there, and it just makes it easier. So now what we're going to do is we're going to slide the bonnet piece up on it. Now you're going to want to make sure that it goes up on it, so it's going to slide on there, and then you're going to feel it snap in, and that's what you want. You want to make sure that it can't go down anymore. Once we get that on there, you're going to tighten them up here. Get snug there. Snug there. Now we're just going to make sure we get this tight. That way when we're tightening it down in the faucet, we don't have no issues there. These things are really small. There we go. There it goes. Alright, so now that we're tight there, slide our nylon washer on. Make sure we get a good seal around that packing gland. And then your checklist spring, checklist assembly here. And you want to make sure that that moves in and out freely when you put that in there. Alright, now we're ready to insert it into the faucet. You should be ready to go. Just stick it in there like so. And this goes in just like a normal stem once it's all together. Just want to tighten it up there. You can use a pair of channel locks or adjustable pliers, whatever you have there. I'm just using this crescents because this is just what we had around the shop here. Not the best thing to use. I really suggest using a pair of pliers if you have them. We will make sure we get that tight. Alright, we're going to put our handle on. Now this is a self-tapping screw. Now do keep in mind that it's not going to be threaded inside the hole. So self-tapping screw, it will have to cut threads. So it will be a little bit hard to get started and to get in there. Alright. There we go. Bottom's out right. Opens all the way. And that's how you cut the stem for the SL14-AS kit.